You bring joy to my life, and I love who you are. No one can compare to you, and that's why you're a star. I know that you'll never change, and I'll be proud of your name, 'cause I'm your number one fan.
I'm a believer. I'm a believer.
I just have to do
All
that.
right, so welcome to I'm a believer.
Yes.
Welcome
Episode.
to episode episode Lawode. All right, so we're here. Today is our anniversary, our 1 year anniversary, and we thought it wise to tell a little bit of our story, the Lawodestory,
Yeah.
how we met, some lessons to learn from our story,
And how it's been the last 300, call it well, 365 days.
All right, so here goes. Meanwhile, thank you for joining us.
And thank you for always viewing on my believer.
Yes, I think it's the first time we're sitting here together.
It's the first time actually.
Okay, so it means today is special. So
It's
please.
the first reality believer episode.
That's true.
First reality.
First reality, I'm a believer. Thank you. Thank you. Anyway.
So,
All right. So I said it all started in 2015. I was posted to Abia State for my NYC, and so I packed my load from Benin City and went to Bende in Abia State. That's where we're having our orientation camp. After orientation, I was posted to Umuahia North. I decided to join the NCCF Fellowship, Nigerian Christian Corpus Fellowship, Abia State, and that was the state house, so it was really large and they had lots of corpus. So fast forward to like 2 weeks after orientation camp, when I was already in the house, the batch was about to pass out, so they needed new schools, and I wasn't expecting myself to even be one of them because I was just coming in. Batch C was leaving, there was still batch B before our batch, which was batch A.
yes.
So when I heard my name as the teenager student outreach coordinator, I was shocked. I have not even heard about that unit in the house. So after the whole program where they elected me or chose me to be that to fill that position, I had to ask questions like, what unit is this? And they told me it was the teenager student outreach. I had to. That's the new unit. I had to start it up and get it running. Like whoa! Before then, I hadn't worked with teenagers. I was a children minister and I was a drama minister as well. So it was a good it was a good one for me. Though I was wondering how I would do it. And then they told me I had to get my own team too. I had to build a team myself, like rally around and get people to join me. Oh, so they gave me the next evening to talk to the house, convince them to, so that I can gain members. So the next evening, I put myself together and I went to the hall. It was really large, lots and lots of people. And so I started with statistics. I asked a question. That afternoon, we had gone for evangelism, so I just used that as an opportunity and I asked them, if we met so and so percentage of teenagers today, how many percentage do you think will need follow-up and so on and so forth? And I can't remember the actual question anyway, but he answered. Like I asked a question and I just heard a voice from one corner of the hall and I turned and so I beheld this young
Glory of the Lord.
yes, the glory of the Lord upon this young man, and he was just looking young and fine. He was wearing a purple hoodie. In his purple hoodie, I think that's where our whole family color, wedding color, everything came out from. So that purple hoodie really caught my attention, and I was looking at him, and he gave reasons for his answer. 24 because this. I was looking at.
That gave reason for the answer.
I think so.
That was it.
Or he just mentioned 24, and I turned. I was like, okay. That was really quick, thank you. I was like, you're welcome. So I continued my speech. When I finished, he came to me that evening after the talk and said, "You, that was a brilliant speech. I was really captivating, and if I wasn't already involved in three other units, I would have joined the unit right away." And I said, "So you're not joining my unit?" And he said, "No, I'm already overwhelmed. I don't want to delve into a unit that I cannot be committed to." And I said, "Oh well, you just join first because I don't take no for an answer." And we just laughed and talked about it and went away. So the next, I think 2 days after that, it was time for my first meeting with the members who had indicated interest. And so I just called out his name. I was calling everyone, and I called out his name as well. Toby, kindness room. And then he came out with the face of, "I thought I told you that anyway, let's go." So that's how he came out. And then we went for the meeting. The meeting was really fine. Prayed, then we distributed people. It was a roster. We sent people to different schools because it was also a student outreach ministry. So we had to meet with teenagers in different schools and talk to them. And so he was assigned to a school with a partner. And then I think somewhere along the line, as we continued to go for these outreaches, he just got, dragged in, and all those talk of, "I don't want to join, I'm already overwhelmed," just dissolved. So he started enjoying the outreaches, the unit in general,
Okay.
and so did I. So there was a day we were okay. I think I should leave that for you. How we became closer. Right?
Okay. All right. My own version of the story. I'll just try and I won't repeat the things that you said. I will just try to add my part of the story. NYC 2015. I was posted to Abia. So when I got to camp, normally I was posted after the 3 weeks. I was posted to state capital, and I've heard about NCCF before. I mean, my elder brother has told me about NCCF before, so I joined NCCF. It was normal for me. The first time I took note of I ever saw her, I never noticed her. I was going and she said, "I also wearing a singlet." So I was wondering why would the sister ask me if I was wearing a singlet. I didn't understand the joke, so I just said yes and left. Then along the line, in the course of the day, I realized that she was asking because it was very sunny that day. The sun was shining, and then I was wearing a singlet, I was wearing a t-shirt on it, and then I was wearing NYC khaki.
So what happened that day was it was sunny, like you said, and as he was coming out, I was talking to some of my friends, and I was like, this guy is coming. Me, I'm even sweating for him already. Like, isn't he feeling the heat? Why is he all, what do we call it?
I like my khaki. My khaki was especially made
even in the sun, under the sun, and in
yes,
the rain.
it was especially made. So I like
Okay.
So that joke, when I understood the joke, I was like, that's very intelligent. But I didn't know her. I didn't know her name. So the second time I met her was during that program, during the passing out of Baxi, and we were asked to coordinate their Thanksgiving. Was it Thanksgiving service? She, myself, and one other brother. That was the second contact. I still don't know her name then. And the third time was when she did her TSO presentation, and I went to meet her that I like your presentation, but I already have 3 units I'm already involved in, so I can't join. So, well, she persisted, and that's how I joined TSO. Now, because TSO, we distribute the outreach so that you can be paired with someone today and you can be paired with another person tomorrow. We got paired together a lot, and that gave us time to talk and bond. I admired her pattern of thoughts, I admired her intellect, I admired how she thinks, and that made it easy for me to want to become a friend. And I remember one thing that actually struck me in her pattern of thoughts is that I believe personally then that friendship with the opposite sex does not always have to go to the next level. I believe that people should be able to become friends and not push each other towards let's start a relationship. And that's like a common challenge among teenagers and even young adults. So one of those outreaches, or one of those, I think we're going to scout for a place for our community to be doing outreach in our community one day, and we got talking, and she expressed her view, and I was impressed that so there's a lady that thinks like this. It makes me feel like, well, because I went to service with the mind that no no deep emotional relationship with any sister, I was comfortable to meet someone who was not thinking, who was also thinking the same way. And I remember when she prayed that we were coming back that day, we got talking, and she prayed that she prayed for our future partners, and she said she prayed like God, our future partners are different partners. So it made me feel like, okay, she's already praying for a different partner, so it means that this one is not thinking of maybe there's a prospect in this marriage. So I was comfortable because I could be myself. At least no one is trying to impress, no one is trying to think of the next level. So that was why I liked the fact that, okay, I allowed myself to, I liked to be a friend, and I enjoyed the friendship. So that's how we became very close. Then you had, I think she did 3 tenures as teenagers student outreach coordinator, and the last tenure she was both TSO, as teenager student outreach coordinator, and Rugged World director. And Rugged World also gave us enough time because we pre-record the program, and so on certain in a particular day of the week we had to go to the radio station, and also it gave us time to also talk. So service, well, the rest of service here
was fantastic.
So we were friends, we were very good friends, and the friendship was, I must commend her. She was real.
Aww.
She was I felt like the friendship was interesting. There were so many things. Like if I start to say everything, I would spend so much time. So the friendship was real, it was interesting, and I was happy every day that, okay, this is a good
And
friendship.
one interesting thing that also happened in service here was, personally, I made a decision way back. This is huge, guys. I made a decision. I sat down at, I think, 100 level when I was about to enter school. I asked myself what I wanted for myself as regards relationship. And I talked to God about it. I prayed about it, and I decided together with God that I wasn't going to enter into any relationship until I was ready to be married. So I didn't want anything to do with dating.
Yes,
I always,
that is I think that's one of the things too that impressed me, because I also believe that until a person is ready for marriage, or until the person is at least seeing marriage ahead, he or she doesn't have any business starting a relationship.
I mean,
and I was impressed because I found a friend who also had the same. Service year ended,
and I had to go back.
Yeah, if I say this part in NCCF, whenever a batch is going home, it's always a very emotional moment. You see people cry, people cry a lot. You see a lady crying, and you think that she lose her husband. Like, it's always that intense. And I remember when we were passing. Well, I don't know. I'm an emotional person too, but I think I don't show emotions that much, especially when it comes to tears. I rarely
He
cry.
watched me cry my eyes out, and he didn't even blink a single
tear. She cried a lot, and I tried forcing tears, but the tears
did not cry.
So
I mean,
at that point,
let me tell you the reason why I cried. I cried so much that day because I felt like once this guy leaves my immediate surrounding and goes back to Lagos, and I go back to Benin, friend has been lost. Like, I would not.
That did not happen.
So that's why I cried. And so at the park, I was like, oh, so I'm gonna lose this friendship. Oh well, it's okay. And so
it wasn't
okay. No, it wasn't okay. So I went back to Benin, and then
the following day I called. No, you went before me. I was still in the house.
Yes, you're still in the house.
I stayed.
We spoke the night after.
I called the following day.
We spoke.
So we kept calling every day.
And days rolled into months.
And so we kept talking every day after service.
Yeah.
It was still yes, at that point we were very close. We were very, very, I could say she was my best friend at then. So I kept calling, she would call. It was not just a one-way call for you. So I call, she calls, and that was how we kept in touch. 2016, I even came to Benin.
I came to
Madam
So the thing happens that sometimes I just show up in Lagos. I have something to do, and then
It's always like a one. I come.
yes,
You
now
come.
you come, I come, you come.
So
So a lot of people saw him in Benin. They attended a program that we usually have every year. He attended that program, and people were like, "Okay, is this the guy?" And then those that have the courage, my very good friends, they ask me, "Is this the guy?" And I'll be like, "No, it's just my friend. Toby is just my very good friend." So they all felt like she not lying to us like this. Why are they keeping it a secret? How can somebody travel all the way
Last
from Lagos on a Christmas day, right? Because that program was 26th.
now I traveled on 24th.
Can you imagine?
Traveled
Like,
on
we
24th.
leave
I
these
didn't spend
people
Christmas in Lagos
and
that
come
year,
and
so
spend Christmas here in Benin,
it
and you
continued like
say nothing.
it continued like
They
that.
couldn't
So
believe it.
I'll go to Benin at least once,
That
maybe once 26. I'll always look forward to 26th anyway. I'll travel to Benin. So that was 2016, 2017, 2018. As of 2018, but towards the end of the year, I kept our thoughts became not just like a friend, started magnifying like what if he married this babe? It kept coming like that, and I would just push it over. I remember January 2019, RCG fast that year. I did the 21 days straight. I remember that I was already praying about her then, even though I didn't tell her. I was already praying and asking God, okay, what is this? Is this my heart? Is this you? Is this, that? And I remember I got towards the end in the around, I don't know which day of the fast, but one of those days I went to Abeokuta to a friend's place, Dari, and we were praying together. Then this word came, Genesis 5:24. And Enoch walked with God and was no more, for God took him. And the interpretation that came then was that Enoch was a friend of God. They were friends to a point where that friendship took Enoch, and Enoch just was with God and was with God forever. And that this friendship you are praying about is the friendship that will take you and you'll be together with her forever in marriage. And so when I got that word, if you are conversant with how the Spirit dropped some real information for you, with you or for you, you would know when certain things are spectacular. So I knew the way it came, the way it happened, I knew it that this is it, this is the word I needed at this point. And so I wrote it down in my diary and I kept praying about it, even though I didn't ask her out. And so that same month, and by then, well, I was carrying the elders, so to say, around me, people who were senior to me. I was carrying them along. There's this sister I'm praying about this and that. So when the word came, I told them, and I got the go ahead to take my shots.
So January 28th, 2019, was it 2019? Yes, it was
2019 was when we started.
I had my own fast too, and I was to break my fast. It was a dry fast. I was to break my fast that day, and so I called him and we were just talking on the phone, and he was asking me what I wanted to use to break, and we just talked anyway. And then it was just like a normal gist like we usually do, and he just dropped it. So I would like you know when you are saying something,
how did I say it?
the person just flow into it. It's not as if the person stops to say something I want to tell you. I don't know. It just went into this stuff.
Yes, I didn't have to. Yeah, it's because I didn't make up my mind to say that.
That day, you said so.
I didn't make. Though it was on my mind, but I didn't know I was going to drop it that day.
Just
but as we were talking, the thing was just trying to come out, At the point, I just felt like, what's the stress? What's this name? She say no, and you just apologize and continue the friendship.
And
so
you just said,
I just dropped it.
How do you say?
I think I said something like,
I would like you.
I said, I don't know how you make decisions, but I would like you to maybe pray, talk to people, think, whatever you want to just consider the possibility of us starting a relationship with marriage in mind. Is it in view or in mind?
I don't know.
Yes. The goal is marriage.
Marriage.
Pray or think about the possibility of us.
And so I was like this. Okay, and I just started laughing. course, trust me. I laughed. He was just there listening. And I was like, okay, okay, no problem.
I just moved on. You didn't.
I just moved on. I didn't say anything. I was like, okay. So I just continued the conversation. And that one. And then we ended the call. When he ended the call, I was practically shaking. Like, what just happened? What just happened? You know, after that day, he didn't mention it.
Yes, I didn't mention this.
We didn't. It was just as if that night did not happen. We just moved on. We started talking normal. We just continued to be friends and continued. But I was praying, of course. And I like the fact too that he wasn't choking me. Hey, what did I say? That thing I said yesterday. That thing I said the first. He was just himself. And then one day he just brought it up when we were chatting. And that thing I said that day, I was serious.
Are you chatting on
And I
phone
smiled.
call?
We were chatting. And I smiled.
On chat?
Yes.
I wouldn't say that kind of thing.
That was where you said it. So he brought it up and we just talked about it. I was like, okay. And I said, I'm serious. So he repeated the whole thing again. I would like you to pray. I would like to have you as my wife.
I remember something now.
What?
I told you that you beat my lines.
Yes. He said, no. You said, I beat your lines and I tick all your boxes. I was really fly. Okay, I tick all your boxes. Nice line. So, jokes aside, anyway. So I prayed, talked to my godparents, talked to those around me that could counsel me, and they all told me that well, they've seen this coming. Though there were a lot of drillings, like who is he, what does he do, and all that. But eventually, he asked me January 28th. I gave him an answer March 1st.
Yes, I was in Benin. I went to Benin to
collect
get
answers.
yes. I traveled to Benin to get a yes.
Yeah, so he came over.
Benin just became like backyard. After then, anyway, it became like backyard. So I was just
strolled down there, and then he came, and I had a load of questions, a lot for him to answer. I think it was
one full higher education like this. She would just look into the paper and say, okay, talk. I was like, okay, this is the exam I come to.
Okay. So the questions were really long. Even me, I knew. Even had to his conviction, how he knew I was born. You know. Then I told
what's
him.
What's your plan for the future? What do you think? What's that like?
So no, I had known him all this while, but I know most of these things I was asking him. I knew them, but I wanted him to say them so that he will be accountable, sort of, for those answers that he gave. Yes, please. So eventually, I said yes, and then we officially started our courtship.
When you said yes, what that?
It was remarkable. I've never seen a man that happy. Like seriously, he hugged me. No, he knelt down. And you knelt down this time and you hugged me.
I must have prayed first.
You have to pray? Yes. Actually, when he knelt down, he hugged my leg. Like, thank you. I could see the joy. I was just looking at him. I was even surprised. Like, okay. And he said, okay, you know what? Let's pray. Thank you, Jesus.
I was not that nervous, Joe.
Yeah, I was so amused. But I liked his whole reaction. He gave me the sense of importance and made me feel special. Like, wow, my ears could do that to someone. And so we started our courtship officially. And then, of course, we had lots of questions to answer. Like, hey, when did he move from platonic?
Yes. I had some friends. They know the kindness from brothers. They named me.
They named us platonic.
My nickname.
Because anytime they ask us, we say platonic. We don't have anything. So questions were coming. We said it. We knew you people were dating. So we continued, and then our wedding was. Baby, I want us to move to lessons now. So what we're going to do, we just want to share some lessons with you.
Okay.
And from our relationship, some things that we did that helped, that you could also, all the singles out there
I have a
watching
best.
this.
I have
Okay,
a
yes,
best.
of course.
For a long distance relationship, go and look for a CUG line. Go and look for a
Okay.
CUG line though. Because we could
Always
talk as if
talking.
we could talk any time of the day. We were always talking. So that was
Communication.
how
So I think
we
the
bridged
first
the
thing,
gap of
communication.
long
So the
distance.
first thing here is communication. It is communication that makes you good friends. So all this while we're saying we became good friends, it wasn't magic.
And also,
We're always talking.
it was easy that way because nobody was pretending. We had been
Yeah.
friends before. We had been sincere with each other all through the friendship stage. We had been very honest. So whatever she tells me on phone, I don't have a reason to doubt it. Whatever I tell her on phone, I don't even have a reason to tell her like.
So number 2, trust. Trust, communication, then trust. Those are the basic ingredients for a successful relationship with anyone. See, as a young lady, you need to know what you want. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry shouldn't get your attention. You shouldn't just jump into because the person has the sweetest line or fills your head with beautiful nothings. You just jump into relationship. Have a standard. Set standards for yourself. Have a plan. Tell yourself what you want. And I believe that when God backs up your plan, or when God is in support, when it aligns with God's will, He will ensure that that plan happens. So I had a plan. I told myself what I wanted. I knew I didn't want to mess up my life with jumping from relationship. Emotional trauma is draining. That's a fact. And then sexual temptations. I didn't need any of those distractions in my life, and so I decided to wait. And trust me, it paid off.
Keeping that as a man, let us not be insincere with ourselves. Let us be true and honest, even with your own self. I laid down my plans. There was nothing to hide. I laid down my plans. She knows everything. Everyone who wants to vet it knows everything. And we trusted God, and trust me, God has been faithful
Very faithful.
ever since. God has been faithful ever since. So don't ignore the necessary things that you should pay attention to. Do your best, and God will do the rest.
And one more thing I'd like to add is, as a single, you have to be complete and whole in yourself first before you join yourself to someone else. Why I say this is because many of us feel like we need a guy to complete us. That's absolutely incorrect. Because if you are not whole and you've not built capacity, you would struggle a lot in marriage. That's one thing I have come to realize. Now moving to the last 1 year, the last 365
The last
days.
1 year, last one.
Yes.
Let me point out something before we go to the last 365. Now there is a place of guidance. There are people that God has set as authority over your life. I remember I made my trips to Benin to meet everybody that I need to meet.
And baby, sorry, please. Let me just quickly mention that if you are not bold enough to take whoever spouse you have or whoever prospective spouse you have to people you respect, elderly ones, pastors, godparents, even your own parents, then something is questionable. Involve people in the plan. If you are sure of it, then let people vet it.
Last 365
Last
days.
365. Well,
Should I go first?
no, you be talking. I won't say so much. I'll just say God has been faithful first of all. It has been amazing. Like I said before, building capacity helps. This last 365 has tested everything I am made of. Exactly true. Every ounce of maturity in you. When you want to, you will be pressed out, and then what you are made of will be revealed. So if you are not you, if you have financial maturity, emotional maturity, mental maturity, intellectual, everything, spiritual, oh God, spiritual maturity, everything will be tested during marriage. And then if you are not made up of so much, it will also be revealed. And the last is will be evident.
I'm sure you understand what she's saying, that in the first stage of trying to blend with each other, they will offend each other, a lot of things will happen, and so that is where your test of patience, your test of maturity, your test of perseverance, your test of forgiveness.
Yeah.
The test of forgiveness will really be proven too. As a man, I like to say that your reputation, your ego is not needed.
Marriage.
You don't need it for anything. You won't say because you're a man you can't say sorry. Because you're a man you can't hear the advice or the opinion of your wife. You won't say because you're a man what you have thought is the real thing and it has to be like that. And you won't say because you're a man you won't stoop low, so to say, to do certain things, especially when your wife is not available to do those things. So I've learned that patience and forgiveness is very important, and friendship is very important. The last 365 days I've also learned that two are better than one. You cannot let me say you can withstand more things together than you can withstand alone. I learned this, that two are better than one. So the last 365 days she's been very wonderful. I must give her that credit. She's been very wonderful. If I start to talk about how wonderful she is, I won't leave it. I mean, you two have to give me like say time. So she's been very wonderful.
So that he has also been very amazing. Like, I kid you not, he's a good man. I say that to him every time.
Thank you very much. So she's been very lovely.
And then lastly, before we go, I want to say, if you don't have a 1,000 chase, there will be no 10,000 to chase in marriage. The Bible says one will chase 1,000 and two will chase
10,000 to
flight. So if you feel like, oh, marriage completes me, you will get into the marriage and be bored without anything to do, without vision, without foresight and everything.
Yeah.
So I want to encourage every single out there, don't just sit while you wait for God to bring the right life partner. Don't just be idle. Do something for God. Use your potential. Put them to use. Chase your 1,000 so that when you get married, when the right person comes, both of you will just fit into the appropriate roles you were meant to do or carry out in your marriage, and just go on. And God's assignment, or the reason why He brought both of you together, is divine orchestration.
Things that you are looking for will eventually chase us, or many of them are even around us. So just haven't. Maybe the time is not yet. It's not yet
around me.
It's not yet time. So it will happen at the appointed time. May God help us. Jesus.
Thank you for listening.
This is our believer.
You should be too. Bye.